Hello, this is Dominic Holland. I'm going to read you my blog. I don't read all of them, but I read some of them. People like to hear them these days. And this is one called Love England, a contentious title in our fractious times. If you like the blogs, please come to the website and read them for yourself, or subscribe to this channel, give us a like and a comment. You'd be very welcome. Thank you very much indeed. Okay, so here we are. Love England. Being a proud Englishman is not such an easy card to play these days, fraught with dangers for its connotations and connections to lots of unpleasant isms. Nationalism, colonialism, imperialism. England are currently the world champion cricketers, and last weekend we had the chance to reign over the rugby union world also, and this would have been a remarkable feat, albeit both sports being little known outside our colonial past, so not such a big deal really, and even a dubious thing to even celebrate. Of course we lost very badly in the final to South Africa, as I predicted would happen, but only to continue my form of always being wrong. So what a time for such a rich vein of form to end. And how the rugby world would have cheered on the Springboks in the final. Anyone but England seems to be the code, and even so for the people of the United Kingdom, the Welsh and the Scots and the Irish too, all of which rankles with my countrymen, but not me. I tend to be more sanguine and view this in less unsavoury terms. Friendly rivalry perhaps, and even as a compliment, since such antithesis is very probably born out of jealousy. And why not? Certainly England is a country that it is easy to be envious of. A tiny country over-endowed with prosperity and advantage. The world city of London, our judiciary and parliament, albeit not so great of late depending on how you voted in the referendum. Dickens, Shakespeare, Turner, Constable, the Cotswolds, Aston Martin, the Lake District, Wordsworth, James Bond, football, tennis, the English language, Oxford and Cambridge, York Minster, the Beatles. I could go on, and even more extensively if I happen to mention that I'm an equally very proud Brit. But keeping with England for this short post, and specifically my home city of London. Last week, people of Instagram might have seen that I played a dinner at the world famous Savoy Hotel. Straddling the River Thames and the Strand, it remains a world hotel and a playground for the rich and the famous. Anybody who is anyone has a relationship with the Savoy. In my green room last week, portraits on the wall of Bing Crosby, Marilyn Monroe and Marlene Dietrich in the very same room as me. Downstairs in the bar, adjacent to the ballroom and where I was waiting to go on stage, the list of portraits in situ was endless, and if anything a little bit distracting. Monroe again, Laurence Olivier, the Beatles, the Stones, Frank Sinatra, Aretha Franklin, Louis Armstrong. And then a photo that stopped me in my tracks. An old man with white hair giving a speech at the Savoy. And I didn't recognise him, and I needed the help of the accompanying caption underneath the photograph. Charles Chaplin, no less. The Charlie Chaplin. Wow. His daughter, Geraldine Chaplin, had a small but significant part in The Impossible. And I recall at the time being remarkably proud that my son Tom was going to be sharing celluloid with a Chaplin. Charlie Chaplin was one of the original comedians and a world icon of show business. A star in the true sense of the word, a career which spanned 75 years in which his status was unassailable. Not bad for a boy born into poverty in South London. And as an old man, with all of his accomplishments, he visited the Savoy to give a speech, accepting an award, most likely, or promoting his memoirs, and no doubt the owners of the Savoy would have been delighted to host him and keen to get his portrait on their illustrious wall. And now I too have my own connection with the Savoy. that I have spoken in the same room as Charlie Chaplin. Not that I'm expecting my portrait to join him, of course, but nonetheless, it felt like an achievement for me. I felt similarly when I performed at the Royal Albert Hall, thinking of all the greats who have gone before me. Which is what I mean by London and England, and indeed Great Britain. What a fabulous place it is. The only place in the world I would ever want to live. A magnificent little island of which I am very proud, no matter what ism this means I might be accused of. For it has produced much more to be proud of than to be ashamed of, and why I'm always curious when people run it down. Like so many people, I would have dearly liked to have seen an England victory in the World Cup final. But that said, I can see the greater benefits of the epic South African win. Better for the game of rugby, better for a country with much greater needs than our own. A rugby team being captained by a black man for the very first time, and a victory which hinged on 3 black players. The extraordinary prop, more of a bulwark than a human being, and 2 imperious wings who scored the tries. If England were to lose to anyone, I can see that such a loss to such a country and in such circumstances as a great loss. So, with a heavy heart, my heartfelt congratulations to South Africa. So that's a blog. I write them every week. If you like them, guys, find the website, come to the channel, give us a subscribe, give us a like or a comment. Thank you very much indeed. See you again.